Hello, everybody. Welcome to the channel. And before I start, I just want to wish everybody a happy 2025 this year. I hope this year is filled with blessing, and whatever you wish for yourself, I hope it comes true this year. And without wasting any more of your time, let's get to it. And today we're just going to be talking about the Dani Olmo situation, because we know there's just been a lot that has been going on with Dani Olmo situation that we really have to talk about. Um, first, first, I have to start by talking about Dani Olmo. He's a player that we bought over the summer from the Bundesliga. We bought Dani Olmo for about 60 million, of which we had some issues registering him. But after Christensen had that injury, we were able to register Dani Olmo for the first part. But here's the tricky part: we registered Dani Olmo for the first part of the season, and now we are unable to register Dani Olmo for the second part of the season. La Liga gave Barcelona to the 31st of last year to register Dani Olmo, of which we were not able to get to that registration. And now here is the funniest thing, because in the rules in La Liga is if you register a player for the first half and he becomes and for some reason he's no longer registered, like for example Dani Olmo, he was registered because Christensen was injured, and now that Christensen is coming back, Dani Olmo will not still be registered. And the rule in La Liga is you cannot register a player, and if he gets disregistered you cannot register him anymore. So we thought they had given Barcelona about 3 days, 3 more days extension, of which that didn't happen, and now Dani Olmo is left without having a club right now, and it's really tricky because it's going to be really interesting to see what happens if he would want to either go on a loan deal for the next 6 months, or maybe he would want to stay in La Liga. But you know that it's a really interesting one, because this is probably the first time we ever see this in football happening, where a player is registered for the first part of the season, and the next part he's unable to play. So this is really tricky. We are going to actually follow up and see how this plays out. And it's really and this has to raise some eyebrows. We have to ask questions, especially to Barcelona, because you cannot tell me you would buy a player for almost 60 million for the first half of the season, and without thinking of how you're going to register that player for the second half of the season. Like, guys, just come to think about it. If we had thought of buying Nico Williams, if Nico Williams ended up coming to Barca, he would also be in the same situation as Dani Olmo right now. So Nico Williams is probably looking at this like, wow, like I probably dodged a bullet, not even joining Barca. And this really, really hurts us as a Barca fan. As we all love Barca, like, as all of this is happening, we all know what we are going through as being a Barca fan. Like, we are literally becoming the laughing stock of the day every day. Like, you can't tell me you can buy a player for 60 million over the summer, and just few months pass by and you didn't think of how you were gonna register that player fully. And remember, guys, we bought Daniel Olmo till 2030, and if he is just gonna be 6 months without playing, that we are still gonna be paying him his wages. So it's just crazy to me how the board didn't even think of this, or maybe they thought about it, and the plans that they had to put in place to make sure this does not happen probably didn't happen. They probably did not foresee them not being able to register Dani Olmo, and that's where they are at. And it's really a messy situation for us guys, because we really need players. Like, we lack depth. Like, the only problem that Barca has right now is we lack quality depth, not just any kind of depth. We lack quality depth, and taking Dani Olmo away already is just even gonna, I don't know, man. It's really gonna be an interesting one. Like, so let's just wait and see what happens for the next couple of days. Let's see what happens to Dani Olmo. Let's see what the board decides to do with this situation. And then also, I'm just gonna talk about a little bit of our next game, which is coming up on Saturday, which is going to be a Copa del Rey game against Barbastro. And recently we also heard that Lamine Yamal is really he was training with the team yesterday on I think yeah he was training with the team and seems like because they said he was going to be out for 3 to 4 weeks, but he's already back after 2 weeks training strong. So let's hope that he's actually really fit and good to go, and that we are not just rushing him, because it's really gonna be damaging if we are trying to rush Lamine Yamal. And also, this January is really going to be an interesting January because on the 4th, like I said, we'll be playing Babastro. We'll be playing away at Babastro, of which obviously it will not be like it's not. I will prefer mostly if Hansi Flick can use most of our backup players for this game because it's going to be an away game in a with a team that probably their field is not so good. So it'd be good that Flick can actually use most of our our bench players for this game. And also that game will be on the 4th, of which our next game will be on the 8th, and that will be the semi-finals of the Copa del Rey, which will be against Athletic Club. That will be a really tough game as well. Hopefully we are able to pull through in that game, and hopefully we can also get to see Lamine Yamal in that game as well. And the next game, and if we are able to pull that semi-final, that will take us to the final, which will be on the 12th. So hopefully we are able to um get hopefully Athletic Club is not going to be much of an issue for us. And also which the final will be on the 12th. And then the next game, which will be on the 18th against Getafe, we all know Getafe is a really, really hard, they're really hard opponents, defensively. So hopefully we are able to pull that. And the next game, our first Champions League game of the year, which will be on the 21st against Benfica away. That would be a really, really tough game because Benfica, I think they really need to win this game to like stay in the top 20, I think. So it's gonna be a good game. And the next game, which will be on the 26th, will be against Villarreal, which will be on the 26th at home. And the next game will be against Atalanta on the 29th, which will also be another Champions League game, and that will be the last game of the year for us. And so, yeah, this is what January holds for us. Hopefully, January looks like October of last year. Hopefully, actually, I just hope all the months of this year looks like October of last year, so we can definitely bounce back on La Liga and we can finally make a statement in the Champions League, which we have been lacking for the past years. Thank you guys so much for listening to this video. I'm not gonna stay too long again, and thank you so much. Thank you. If you like the content, can you please, if you like the information about Barcelona, will you please hit the like button? And if you want to hear more about Barcelona news, also hit subscribe. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day. Bless.